how do we go from this to this? The history of the guitar is pretty much a mystery. There are many claimed predecessors, like the lute and the chitarra, and even the chitole in the medieval times. However, when drafting a history of the guitar, we can only talk about things that we have pure evidence about. And that brings us all the way to the Renaissance guitar. The Renaissance guitar comes all the way back to the 15th century, and the first reference that we get are from two main books. The Heidelberger Totentats from Germany and El Libro de Horas from Spain, which was created in Toledo. And on those we see the very first imaginary about what was the so-called guitar in those times. As you can see, that guitar used to have 3 pairs of strings, and also the strings were made of guts, which is like animal intestines, and also were the frets which were tied on. Then came the 4-course Renaissance guitar, and that one was the leading one on the 16th century and mostly popular on Spain and France with composers like Adrien Leroy and Guillaume de Morlaix. This guitar had 4 courses and it was tuned the same as a modern ukulele. Later on came the vihuela, which was a 6-course instrument that looked pretty much like a guitar but was actually tuned like a lute. And the very first book created for that instrument was by the composer Alonso de Mudarra by the 16th century. And then in the Baroque, the 5-course Baroque guitar came to life. With that one, the size got bigger and the possibilities increased. Also, with that one, the so much loved style of the rasgueado or strumming started becoming popular. One of the most important books about this style of guitar was by Juan Carlos Amat, and it was published in Barcelona in the 16th century. In the New World, the guitar flourished and developed into new shapes and variations. Therefore, we got different instruments that came as part of the family. Then we can find the Cuban tres, the Venezuelan cuatro, the Brazilian cavaquinho, the charango in the Andes region, and also the Mexican guitarrón. Going back to Europe, something huge happened in the 19th century. By 1850, Antonio de Torres created what we call now the modern classical guitar. And that guitar with an enlarged body and a thinner soundboard became the standard of the guitar making and guitar building up to nowadays. Another huge change was about to happen, this time in America, the steel strings guitar. It happened in 1880 when Christian Frederick Martin created the first steel string guitar, which had a different and more large body in order to cope with the extra tension of the steel strings. Afterwards came the electric guitar, and the first recorded electric guitar to ever existed was created in 1928 by the Stromberg Company. And it was a huge innovation that allowed the instrument to create different sounds and to achieve new levels of volume that were never expected. Soon, the electric guitar became one of the preferred instruments of the jazz and blues players of the 30s, like Sister Rosetta Tharpe and T-Bone Walker. And in the 40s, Leo Fender and Les Paul created what is considered the most important basic models of electric guitars, the Les Paul and the Fender. Nowadays, we can choose any kind of guitar that you want to play. You can go and find a vihuela, or you can go and find classical guitar, or you can go and get an acoustic guitar, or what about the newest electric guitar? It's the time to choose. Well, I hope you enjoyed this history of the guitar, and see you in the next one. Like always, like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what is your dream guitar? Blah, blah, blah. No. Okay.